Strong words from Iran's supreme leader as the U.S. builds up its military presence in that region. The Ayatollah saying if the U.S. were to attack, it would spark a, quote, regional war. President Trump responding with this.
We have the biggest, most powerful ships in the world over there, very close, a couple of days, and hopefully we'll make a deal. If we don't make a deal, then we'll find out whether or not he was right.
The comments follow the deployment of the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group to waters near that Middle Eastern country. NewsNation's Robert Sherman is live with the very latest. Robert, we know that all this is happening as we're finding out top U.S. and Israeli generals held talks at the Pentagon Friday. So what more can you tell us now on Monday?
The United States remaining close at a hip's distance with its major ally in the region here, Israel, as you have seen this tension playing out in the public sphere. Those comments from the supreme leader saying that any escalation of action from the American side could result in a regional conflict. Then you had President Trump coming back and saying that there's all of this mighty American firepower that is in the region. We've been working with people on the ground there to get more perspective on the situation in Iran. This is original footage taken by those folks caught in the middle, everyday people who are trying to go about their day-to-day lives in Iran. No idea what these coming days are going to bring. You just heard from the president there a moment ago. This is what Iran's foreign ministry had to say about the possibility of negotiations taking place here. I want to read that for you. Quote, various points have been exchanged. At this stage, we are reviewing and deciding on the details of any diplomatic process, which we hope will reach a conclusion in the coming days. Axios and Reuters are reporting it's possible that we could be seeing a meeting between the Americans and the Iranians as soon as Friday, though nothing has been formally announced by either delegation up to this point. And then you have the efforts that the United States is taking when it comes to its allies in the region. There was a U.S. destroyer that was moored at the Israeli port city of Eilat over the weekend. And today, there is an announcement made by both the U.S. and Israeli side, joint drills and trainings taking place between Israeli and American naval ships in the region there. It's very clear that the United States is trying to stay close to its ally for fear that the situation could continue to escalate here. And of course, the Ayatollah has placed all blame for unrest in the region, not just on the United States, but on Israel as well. Nichole.
Well, Robert, another big story in the Middle East, so the Rafah crossing between Gaza and Israel reopening. What more can you tell us about that?
Well, this is a key element to getting to phase 2 of the deal in Gaza. And this was something that the president announced at Davos, Switzerland, just a couple of weeks ago. It's viewed as a significant milestone by the administration. First opening that you've seen in over a year in which Palestinians inside of Gaza can flow in, can flow out of the enclave. This is the crossing that connects Gaza directly into Egypt. We also know that Special Envoy Steve Witkoff is supposed to be in Israel tomorrow to meet with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Of course, there are so many different elements to what's going on in the Middle East right now with the situation in Iran. But the situation in Gaza is one that is top of mind for the administration as they try to continue pushing a peace deal forward inside of Gaza. Nichole.
All right, Robert Sherman, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.